beautiful. Prakshaniya, which means they are worth seeing such pastimes, is performing like that. So that is how a yogi meditates on these things. The process of meditating on form of Supreme Personality of Godhead within oneself and the process of chanting the glories and pastimes of the Lord are the same. You see the difference. The only difference is that hearing and fixing the mind on pastimes of the Lord is easier than visualizing the form of the Lord within one's heart. Why it is not easy? Because mind becomes disturbed. Agitation. Antakaran shuddhi nahi hai na. That's the problem. So if you have your antakaran is shuddha, if you have a pure heart, then it is easy to meditate. Now, that's why that smaranam has a qualification. Shravanam is easy. Kirtanam also has a certain qualification that Kirtanam, one has to do a long Shravanam, then one becomes qualified to speak about Kirtanam, meaning to do Kirtanam. But Smaranam has very great qualification needed, that one's heart is become very, very pure. So that's why we focus on Shravanam and Kirtanam. Those are the most important processes for us. तस्मिल्लब्धपदं चित्तं सर्वावयव संस्थितं विलक्ष्य एकत्र संयुज्यात् अंगे भगवतो मुनिः.
In fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take the collective view of all his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limbs of the Lord.
Yes, so now you are proceeding from what to what? Dharana to Dharma. This is the transition now. Collective view say it is ekekashah, it is on every individual limbs. Ange bhagavato muni. So which means that one is now focusing on one anga, one limb. Prabhupada. The word muni is very significant. Muni means one who is very expert in mental speculation or in thinking, feeling, and willing. He is not mentioned here as a devotee or yogi. Those who try to meditate on the form of the Lord are munis or less intelligent. Whereas those who render actual service to the Lord are called bhakti yogis. It is amazing. Prabhupada is translating Muni as less intelligent. Muni as less intelligent. Usually Muni means contemplative sage. But he wants to say that, see, the word is not bhakta here, no? It is Muni. So these guys are, they are not actually exactly devotees. So at least here he is making this point that they are not devotees. They are some sort of Munis. He's distinguishing them certainly. Yes, these are Yoga Mishra Bhaktas. Not the other way. Bhakti Mishra Yogis. So they can only meditate while devotee renders the service. That's the difference. So how do you meditate on the different limbs? This is also a very beautiful section now, from 21 to 33. This is Dhyanam, beautiful deity form also in the same manner. Just as this is speaking about Dhyanam, we can do this for Krishna's Bhagavan form, Bhagavan feature, which is accessible feature for us, Smaranam, which needs a qualification. This is a general kind of Samanya Smaranam of the Lord, where we are focusing on deity form. It's not like we are sitting in a place and closing our eyes and trying to meditate. No, that would become a proper Smaranam kind of thing. But this is more especially on the deity form of the Lord. So yogi, for yogi, in the heart he is meditating like that. Sanchintayeta bhagavatascharanadavindam vajram kushatvaja saroruhalanchanadhyam uttungarakta vilasanna kachakravala jyotsna bhirahata mahadhridaya andhakaram.
The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of thunderbolt, a goat, a banner of a lotus. The splendid beauty rubinates resembles the orbit of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart.
So Vishwanath Chakravarti says, first we should meditate on the marks on the lotus feet of the Lord. But Lord Vishnu is standing with his feet on the lotus of the heart. So his marks on the feet are not visible. But Krishna stands in threefold bending and he shows you the lotus footprints on his lotus feet. So he says it is very easy to meditate on Krishna's lotus feet because he's ready to show you. We see Krishna's right foot goes like this in his Tribhanga Roop. So you can very nicely see the right lotus foot and what's there on that. And they are the ones which are mentioned here. Vajra, Ankusha and all. So this is a meditation on Krishna. You see how he explains. Very ecstatic. Vajra, Ankusha, Dhvaja, they all are on the right feet of Krishna. Like that. So it is amazing. So you can see these are lotus feet of Krishna. Lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So you can see this is lotus. This is Ankush, the elephant goat. This is Vajra. This is Chakra. This is the umbrella. This is barley corn. And then these are swastikas and all that. So Krishna has 11 on this foot, right foot, 11 marks and 7 on the left foot. So total 18 marks Krishna has on his lotus feet. So there is a book written by Jiva Goswami. Entire book is on the lotus footprints of Radha and Krishna's lotus foot. And what do they signify? Is written a book on that. Separate book is there. Very beautiful book. I think Radha Krishna Pada Chinna, something like that. The name is there. So
is book same to for all incarnations? So Chaitanya also they also have some.
So see, like for Lord Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are considered like because they are one and the same. But the marks don't have to be like, especially for incarnations and all, they can be different. Some common marks are there, like Vajra, Ankush, and all that. But they can be also, there can be some variety. Jiva Goswami says that depending on the incarnation, some common marks are there and some will vary also. It's possible like that. So you can see the verse is saying Vajra. Here is Vajra. Ankusha, Dhvaja, Saroruha, which means Kamal. So all you see this beautiful marks, they are there. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that see, Tribhanga Lalitasya Krishnasya Bhaktaihi Drishyatvat. Because Krishna is Tribhanga Lalit, so devotees get to see his Dakshina Charan. Dakshina Charan means right foot, right lotus foot. That. So below that, on the palm of, on the heel of those, that lotus feet, so we know that this beautiful Ankusha and all that is there. So later he will also speak about what is the particular significance. Here the verse is only saying that's how the yogi begins the meditation, with the lotus feet. When we take deities darshan also, we begin with lotus feet and then we go up. So similarly here also his meditation begins with the lotus feet, the marks on the lotus feet, and then he will move to the nails and then the fingers of the feet in this way. So Uttunga Rakta Vilasat Nakha Chakraval. So this ruby nails of the Lord, they are considered to be like so effulgent, that they, by their effulgence, they can drive away the darkness, the great darkness in the heart of the yogi, or great darkness in the heart of that devotee. The splendor of beautiful ruby nails, they dispel the thick gloom of one's heart. Prabhupada in this entire purport is smashing these Mayavadis. all these purports where Krishna's or Vishnu's limbs are being described, he again and again takes that Mayavadi and keeps beating him like that. One Prabhupada disciple was saying, for Prabhupada, Mayavadi is like that sandbag. Boxers have no. रोज उस पे 200 पंच मारते हैं उस so like that the Mayavadi is sandbag. Wherever form or something like that comes, Prabhupada says, किधर है वो मायावती का? उसको देते रहते हैं, he keeps on beating him. Mayavadi, you see this beautiful description of Lord, and you are saying, Lord's form is Maya, so that's why you see he brings Mayavadi. Sometimes in some beautiful sweet Leela also he says, where is that Mayavadi? He brings the description there also of Mayavadi. Yeah, because those guys are, you can see, they're doing greatest disservice, isn't it? So they say one can imagine any form he likes and fix his mind on the imaginary form. उनका धारणाश्रय क्या है? Imaginary, कुछ भी जो भी चाहिए उनको. But such a process is not recommended here. Dhyanashraya or Dharanashraya has to be Lord Vishnu. Prabhupada's very nice statement. Imagination is always imagination and results only in further imagination. Further imagination like that. So if they're replacing Sabija with Nirbija, or they're replacing Vishnu Dharnashraya with some Maya Dharnashraya, so that will lead to further imagination then. So this is the concrete description of Lord's beautiful form. So you can see this lotus feet. Yachaucha nisrita sarita pravarodakena tirthena mudhyadikritena shiva shivo bhut dhyatur mana shamala shaila nishistrita vajram dhyayet chiram bhagavatas charanadavind.
The place Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head of the holy waters of the Ganges, which has its source in the water that wash the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's feet act like thunderbolts hurled to shatter the mountain of sins stored in the mind of meditating devotees. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time.
You see, Shiva Shivo Bhut. Shivji Shivji ban gaye. Shiva Shiva Abhut. Meaning Shiv ban gaye. So how did Shiva become Shiva? Shivji, how did he get the quality of being the most auspicious? Shiva means what? Auspicious. Lord Shiva's presence is very auspicious for any conditioned soul, anyone. So he has become Shiva. Shiva has become Shiva because of Yat Shaucha Nishrita Sarita Pravarodakena. Because he on his head, he took the water that has washed the Lord's lotus feet. Shaucha means that has washed the lotus feet of the Lord. And it became Sarit Pravara. It became the best of the rivers. What is that? Mother Ganga. So, because Lord Shiva takes these waters which have washed Lord's lotus feet, Murdhni Adhikritena, he takes it on his head. This Tirtha he takes on his head. And that's why he has the power to purify the whole world. Shiva Shivo Bhut. This way. So, Shiva himself says like that. If somebody feels that how is this? But actually Shiva himself prays also like that. That I have this power of purifying. I think it's in that Mohini Murti section. Lord Shiva himself prays like that. So the point is that it's a very, even somebody like Lord Shiva, who is Mahadev, he also reveres that Charnamrit that is coming on his head and feels that only because of that he has this power to purify the whole world. So then what to speak of one who is meditating? Dhyatur, dhyata yane, the meditator. the yogi. So, Dhyatur Manah Shamala Shaila Nishrishta Vajram. So, Vajra is known for powdering or breaking the mountains. Vajra. Indra has this habit of some flying mountains are there, he will cut down the wings only. Better. Or sometimes he just uses the Vajra and powders, breaks the mountains to pieces, shatters completely. So similarly, the Mana Shamal, the contamination in the mind, it is being compared to a mountain. And if you meditate on that Vajra that's there on the Lord's lotus feet, that Vajra will break the mountain like contamination of the mind. That's the meditation. So Dhyayet Chiram Bhagavata Charana Ravindam. That's why the yogi should meditate on Lord's lotus feet for Chiram, for long time. ऐसा नहीं कि 2-3 मिनट बस हो गया करके deities दर्शन लिया कितना 2 सेकंड भी नहीं लिया. So we take long the deities. We can meditate on his lotus feet for a long time. Of course, by taking care of other services. But the is, sometimes we are like very quick, just take the guy. Kuch kaam karte important. Some important thing I want to do. As if the person who is standing there is not important. So that's how we take out some time to get some good darshan of Lord's lotus feet. And even if sometimes we may not remember the vivid details of dress and that, but at least we offer our prayers to the Lord. We have offered our beautiful prayers, expressed our emotions that Krishna, yes, I'm trying, Krishna, please forgive me, I'm not very sincere, but still, you please give me strength to serve you. Pray if we are suffering from certain anartha, pray for if we are suffering from certain anartha, so we pray for some help that Lord may provide to us. So that's how Chiram is that very important word. Like that. So Krishna Chakravarti says, Dhyatuhu can mean Bhaktasya also here, the devotee. So the devotee, he meditates on that Vajra or Ankusha, the elephant gourd. And what does he say? Mano hastinam swavartmani anetum. And he meditates on that Ankush and he says, my Lord, my mind is also like a great elephant. So by this elephant gourd, by this Ankush of your lotus feet, you please bring back my elephant of the mind on track. इधर उधर दौड़ रहा है और बात कर रहा है. So you bring to your lotus feet again by that Ankusha. By seeing the Kamal, there is Kamal on Lord's lotus feet, right? This Kamal. So the devotee feels, my Lord, when will my mind become like this, very serene lake and this Kamal in that serene lake? Manah Kamal Sarasi. Where is that? Manas Sarasi Amalam Kartum. So he feels that just like the beautiful lake is there, and in that, if there is a beautiful lotus, how beautiful sight is that? So similarly, when does my mind become, amala, spotless or clean like that? This way. Sarvotkarsha Samrajyam Datum Dhvajam. Dhvaja, the flag shows a great kingdom. So devotee feels, my Lord, when will attain the kingdom of Vaikuntha? Sarvotkarsha Samraj, the greatest kingdom, right? Kingdoms have their own flags, different flags. But this Krishna's Vaikuntha's Dhvaja, Vaikuntha Dhvaja, that's the greatest Samrajya, or Golok Vrindavana's Dhvaja. So then the devotee meditates on that Sarvotkarsha Samrajya. Like that. Sarvotkrishta Yasha Datum Yavam. That barley corn that shows the aspect of the Sarvotkrishta Yasha, the prosperity of actually bhakti, prosperity of the Vaikuntha or prosperity of Golok Vrindavan. That prosperity is shown by this barley corn that is there. So one wants to have that yasha of being a devotee, not some mundane yasha he is talking about. This chhatra, seeing the chhatra, the devotee sees that actually Krishna's lotus feet are like an umbrella which is saving me from so much of tapas this way. Uddhava also prays very nicely. He says that Krishna's lotus feet are like, they are not only saving us from the Trivid tapas, he says, I forgot the word, Amritabhivarshat, that's the verse. Amritabhivarshat also. So imagine there is scorching heat or there is very terrible rain, and then you have a umbrella, and in that umbrella, from inside there is sweet rice also coming out. Sweet rice is raining, and you can take that and eat nicely. So like that, he's saying your lotus feet are you are not only saving us from the scorching Trivid kleshas, but those lotus feet are from inside, they are bestowing Amrita Bhivarshat. Like that. So like that, he glorifies the Supreme Lord. So bhakti process is like that, no? On one hand, we get saved from so much of Trivid kleshas. Adhyatmik, Adhibhautik, Adhidaivik. All first class devotees around, they respect you. Prabhu, they will say. They will respect so much. This way. And not only that, the whole process of bhakti, positive Krishna consciousness, service, prasad, association, kirtan, that way. So that's why. So this is what is glorified here. Chhatram and sarvatah rakshanartham chakradita. And the chakra, by seeing the chakra, he meditates that this chakra, it is protecting me from all the dangers, or let it protect me from all the dangers, like that, as a prayer also. So very nicely like this, there is a meditation on various footprints or various marks on the lotus footprints of the Lord. This way. So this is yogi's meditation. Prabhupada. Lord Shiva is very important because he is holding on his head the holy Ganges water, which has its origin in the foot wash of Lord Vishnu. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami, it is said that anyone who puts the Supreme Lord and demigods, including Lord Shiva and Brahma, at once becomes a partial or atheist. So even Lord Shiva and Brahma are seen as servants of the Supreme Lord, like Keshava, that says in the name, right? Keshava, Ka and Isha. Ka refers to Brahma, Isha refers to Shiva, one who is master of Ka and Isha, that is Keshava. If a yogi wants to shatter the mountain of dirt in his mind, he should concentrate on the lotus feet of the Lord and not imagine something void or impersonal. No. If he imagines something void or impersonal, then that dirt will not be lost. It will increase. It will become all the more. Janudvayam jalajalocanaya jananya lakshmyakhilesya suravanditaya vidhatuhu urvor nidhaya karapallavarochishayat samlalitam hridhi vibhora bhavasya puryat.
The yogi should fix in his heart the activity of Lakshmi, the goddess of the fortune, which is worshipped by all the demigods and is the mother of all the supreme person. Brahma, she can always be found and massaging the legs and thighs of the transcendental Lord, very carefully serving him in this way.
So yogi continues now to meditate. So now he is meditating on the Lord, which is Shayanam. Shayanam, right? Before we talked about Sthitam, Lord which is going, Vrajantam, or Shayanam, the Lord who is sleeping or lying down, you could say. So now this is a meditation where he is Shayanasya, Shesha Paryanke, on the bed of Ananta Shesha, Shesha Shaya. What is Lord doing? He is resting. And Lord's Janudvayam, we see that the two lotus feet of the Lord, they are taken by Mother Lakshmi in her lap. Urvor Nidhaya. She has placed those two lotus feet in her lap. And what is she doing? Samlalitam. She is doing massaging of those two lotus feet of the Lord by her Karapallava Rochisha, by her beautiful, which are like very delicate hands of Mother Lakshmi, and she is doing lalanam. She is doing the massage to the Lord's lotus feet. And that Lakshmi she is no ordinary personality. She's Jananya Vidhatuhu. She is mother of even Brahma. What to speak of other demigods and all. She is mother of Brahma. She is mother of the whole universe. Suravati, she is respected by all the demigods. She is worshipped by all the demigods and the devotees. She is the beloved of the Lord. Jalaja Lochanaya, she is a very beautiful person. She is having her eyes like Meena, very large eyes, this way. So such Mother Lakshmi, she is holding Lord's Janudvaya, she is holding Lord's two lotus feet. Janu means up to knees. So she takes in her lap Lord's two lotus feet up to knees. So in this way, she is doing some lalitam, massaging Lord's lotus feet. So a devotee or a yogi, he meditates this sight in his heart. Should meditate in this particular manner on that Lord. So this is, you can say, a meditation which is like of the sleeping Lord, like Garbhodakshai Vishnu, in that manner. Swami Chakravarti says here that here. Evameva Jandhayo Jalanoscha Madhuryam Aishwaryam Agre Pigneya. So in this way, we are seeing that Lord's Madhurya, Lord's Aishwarya, that both the aspects are being spoken here. The very beautiful limbs of the Lord and being served by the greatest personality like Lakshmi. So that shows the aspect of Madhurya and Aishwarya both. And Lord is known as Abhava. So last word is Abhava. What's the meaning of Abhava? One who is himself transcendental to material existence. Not only that, but one who is also he makes you transcendental to the material world. That is called Abhava. Yasmat, जिसकी वजह से आप भी अभाव बन जाते. That's the Lord. This way. So, Mother Lakshmi is in this way always massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. Prabhupada says, since transcendental behavior is different from mundane behavior, it should not be taken that Lord receives service from his wife, just as a demigod or human being might receive service from his wife. These feminist groups had a lot of problem with this Lord Vishnu, getting his feet massaged by Lakshmi. So in between, they were running a movement saying all such deities, they have to be removed. Where Lakshmi is massaging Lord's lotus, or the paintings where Lord's lotus feet are in the lap of Mother Lakshmi and she is massaging. So they were saying, this is anti-feminism and all that, such ideas, bogus. So he is Lord. not only Mother Lakshmi is serving him, they want to serve like that, they are serving him like that, this way. So you can see that everybody sees world in by their own eyes, right? It is advised here that the yogi always keep this picture in his heart. The devotee always thinks of relationship between Lakshmi and Narayan. Therefore, he does not meditate on mental plane as impersonalists and voids do. So Krishna and Radharani's wonderful pastimes, or Lakshmi and Narayan, that is a devotee's meditation, not some void or some useless other kind of meditation. Okay. Radhishobhamana Vojo Nidhi Atasikaku Sumavabhaso Vyalam Vipita Sivartamana Kanchi Kalapapapiriram Vinitamba Bimbam.
Next, the yogis should fix his mind in meditation on the personality of Goddess eyes, the stored house of the all energy. The Lord's eyes are whitish blue, like the luster of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of the Garuda. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extended down to his ankles.
Yeah. So that verse was saying, right? Meditate, the yogi should meditate on the Lord who is sitting, not sitting, but standing, and who is living, walking, and who is shayanam, sleeping. So Vishwan Chakravarti says this is the meditation of yogi on a Lord who is going away, living, who is living from one place to another. So when he is living from one place to another, how does he live? He goes on Garuda's back. So that's why this is a meditation on how does he sit, and he's carried away, carried to another place by Garuda. So that is mentioned. Uru Suparna Bhujayor Adhishobhamana Vojo Nidhi Atasikako Sumavabhasa. So we see that when the Lord, when he is sitting on the back of the Garuda, so his thighs, and the lotus feet, we see that they appear most graceful, like they're being compared to whitish blue. What is the word? Yeah, this linseed flower, Patasika Kusuma. That way. Meaning because of the great effulgence that is there of the Pitambar and Lord's own effulgence also, because of the meditation of luster of that linseed flower. I don't know what is linseed. So the Garuda, Lord sitting on Garuda's thighs, that meditation is being spoken. Also, yogi meditates on Lord's Nitamba, where he's wearing pitambar and he's having a beautiful girdle, beautiful belt with this exquisite dhoti. Like Lord's entire form is only so beautiful. His feet, his thighs, his knees, his navel, his arms, his chest, everything. It's a perfection of all beauty this way. So the yogi meditates on this way, his limbs, as it is given in the Shastra. This form is again represented in Archa Vigraha, like that. So we have the opportunity to meditate like that. Nabhi Bhuvana Kosha Guhodarastham Yatra Man Yonidhi Kshana Khilaloka Padmam Vyudham Harinmani Vrishastanayoramusha Dhyaye Dvayam Vishatahara Mayukha Gauram.
The yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of his abdomen. From his navel, which is foundation of the entire universe, springs the lotus stem containing all the different planetary systems. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resemble a pair of most exhibit immortals and which appears whitish because of the ray of the milk white pearls necklaces adorning his chest.
Yeah. So Lord's Nabhi, very, very beautiful. Pankajanav, Namaha Pankajanabhaya. Hmm. And then this Nabhi is what? It is actually the cause of, from Lord's navel comes this entire huge lotus in which all the bhuvanas on the 14 planetary systems are there. Hmm. And the lotus that comes from Lord's Nabhi, it becomes the Dhisha, it becomes the or rest for even Brahmaji, Atma Yoni, like that. Within the null of that lotus are the all planetary systems. So that's Lord's Nabhi, Pankaja Nabhi. Also, the Lord's chest and Lord's nipples, meaning they look like emerald, very beautiful emerald money, emerald jewels, harit money, like emeralds. And they are said to be whitish because of the necklaces adorning his chest. So you can see that the yogi is moving on up towards Lord's lotus face this way. So Prabhupada basically writes that the Lord can see with his ears. He talks about this Angani Yasya Sakalendriya aspect over here. Okay, let's move. Vakshodhi, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, how is this going ahead? Like you were mentioning, first we saw that he began with Lord's meditation on the lotus feet, and then he talked about lotus feet of the Lord, and then suddenly there is a talk about Lord who is resting, and then Lord who is moving, and then now this. Yes. Now there is meditation on the navel of the Lord. So
Yeah.
how is this?
Yeah. See, how it is going is, he is beginning with the footprints or the marks on the lotus footprints of the Lord, right? So now, when he is doing that, it is said that a yogi, he meditates on one particular limb and pastimes related to that, sometimes for days. इस हफ्ते के लिए nails, that's it. तो पूरा हफ्ता वो nails पे meditate करता है. He remembers various pastimes from the nails. He remembers the various description of nails. So it's like that. So like that he goes on. And then he, like before nails, there are these marks on the lotus feet. Then it is said, Janu Dvaya. So literally Janu means Prabhu from ankle to here. You can say. Pindli. क्या बोलते हैं? Hindi. Yeah, Pindali. So this much only. So you can see he is going on top. Janu Dvaya. So up to this. Then he talked about Garuda, Lord being carried. So Garuda means thighs. So then he is meditating on the thighs, those powerful thighs of the Lord, which give shelter to everyone. They are hallmark of his great strength. Then he is going to the navel, right? Then he is going to the navel. Then he is going to the chest. So like that it is going up, up. Although within that variety is there certainly that the aspects like he's meditating on sleeping Lord, walking Lord, standing Lord, all those factors will be there, yeah. But usually that meditation, no, in order to come such absorption, they will do it for many, many days. So in this way, yogi also has very good understanding about many of these descriptions of Lord from many places. We have सोचो ना वो एक हफ्ता भर अगर वो nails of the Lord पे meditate कर रहा है तो बहुत कुछ निकालता होगा info from books like so many books, right? there was this Vedanta Deshikan, who is a great acharya in Sri Sampradaya. So one time, he's a very great poet and devotee. So one time he was challenged by a Pandita saying that you are just getting fame like that. I am better Pandita than you. I'm better poet, but you have just become famous like that. So he said, I want to challenge you. Let's in one night, like we decide tonight, we will come up with some stotra or poetry on Lord's lotus feet, and tomorrow we will present. Whoever has better poetry, he is the winner. So Vedanta Deshikan said, actually, Lord's lotus feet is very, he said, it's very exalted. I will write poetry on Lord's Paduka. Is it okay? So he said, yeah, you can write on Paduka, no problem. I will write on lotus feet. You can write on Paduka. So next day, Vedanta Deshikan came up with 1,000 verses on Paduka in one night. He wrote. The book is known as Paduka Sastram. और ये पूरा रात भर जग के ये दूसरा पोएट, he came with some 200 verses. दूसरे दिन आंखें लाल उसकी, because whole night he was writing something. And Vedanta Deshikan, it's like a stream of nectar coming out. He wrote Paduka Sahasram. And next day when he brought his book and he saw Vedanta Deshikan's book, he thought, my God, where am I? This person, Paduka Sahasram, just no match for that book. And he's glorified only Padukas in 1,000 verses. तो बोला लोटस फीट के लिए मैं दूसरा book लिख दूंगा कुछ. This. So then the scholar fell at his feet and said, please make me your disciple. His pride was shattered. And so that book is full of exquisite glory of Paduka, footwear of the Ranganatha's footwear, or Ramachandra's footwear, or like that. He glorifies various footwears of various incarnations. तो अभी जिसको फुटवेयर पे मेडिटेट करना है वो बुक पढ़ेगा, because he is quoting from all different incarnations, how this footwear, how that footwear, how this Paduka, that Paduka. That's Paduka Sahasram. Amazing. Yes.
जब yogis जब इतना meditate कर रहे हैं, तो like why they are aspiring for Brahma Jyoti? Because they are meditating on some sort of attributes, say legs, right, toe, hair, button, and they are aspiring for their things.
That's what, no? That is amazing. That they take this as a sadhan, means. So that goal of merging in Brahman is so prominently there, no? That never loses track of their mind. It's like that. It is amazing only. That's why it's surprising to us, no doubt. If he's doing this much, devotee also is not doing. It looks like devotee is also not doing this much, right? But his goal is very fixed. They want to attain moksha. And because he is doing so much hard work, you see, finally Paramatma comes in front of him, in the sense, in his heart. Direct Lord's form. Initially he is imagining. बाद में imagination नहीं है वो साक्षात्कार है. Directly Lord manifests, but still he removes his mind away from the. So that is so amazing, how unbelievable it is, but it is that's how the process is. So let's see. Vakshodiva samrishabhasya mahavibhote pumsam mano pratimadadhanam kantham cha kaustubh mane radhibhushanartham Kuryan manasya khila loka namaskritasya.
The yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the abode of Goddess of Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the Personality of Godhead, who is adored by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubhajan, which hangs on his chest.
Yeah. So now you see he's going above, above the above part, Vaksha, because Kaustubha is. Similarly, Lakshmi Rekha is also on upper part. So that's why that is said to be the Vaksha. Pumsam mano nayana nirvriti madadham. Such is the beauty of Lord's form that it gives great satisfaction to the mind of the devotee, the eyes of the devotee. Nirvriti means great bliss or joy. Adadhanam, it gives like that. Then he meditates on the neck of the Lord, which is like Trirekhank, which is like having 3 marks of the conscience. And that Kantha also has Kaustubha Mandala. So the from the neck, it is very hanging on Lord's chest from the neck, hung from the neck. So the yogi meditates on that. Puryat manasya akhila loka namaskritas. In this we meditates on the Lord who is worshipped by the entire universe. It is stated herein that the beauty of the neck of the Lord enhances the beauty of the Kaustubha gem rather than vice versa. Bhushanam Bhushanam, right? Lord wears the ornaments and that increases the beauty of the ornaments. The ornaments without Lord wearing them would not have looked so beautiful. But because Krishna is wearing, Vishnu is wearing, so they look very, very beautiful. And they're already beautiful, but they look even more beautiful on the Lord's neck or Lord's chest, this way. The Lord's transcendental form can either be meditated upon in the mind or placed in the temple in the form of the statue. Statue means deities. And I don't know whether these are proper words or they're edited. A statue came quite many times, right? Decorated in such a way that everyone can contemplate it. There is no difference between constantly visiting the temple and directly seeing the transcendental form of the Lord. They are equal. So Prabhupada has this theme again and again. He speaks on this idea that there is no difference between deity's darshan and seeing the form of the Lord face to face. So again, this is a point of mood, more like a mood, because deity you can see even if you have great anarthas, but Krishna's transcendental form you can never see if you have anarthas. Only with love of Godhead you can see. So there is a great difference between these two. But there is also no difference because both forms are Bhagavan features. Because the conditioned soul cannot see the Lord, so Lord comes in the form of the form which he can see. So that way. So it is Bhagavan feature, isn't it? So that's why it is equal also. And Prabhupada puts emphasis on that aspect. So that people can get the taste of deity worship and they can get benefited, right? Ramanujacharya says that out of the 5 forms of the Supreme Lord, Archa, Vaibhava, Antaryami, then Vyuha, and what's the 5th? Para. The 5th one is Para. The Lord in Vaikuntha. Antaryami, all these forms, they're also merciful, but Archa is the most merciful. He says Archa is the most merciful. And he gives the example also, like various kinds of waters are there. He says there is river water, or there is water in the ground. So Antaryami is like in the Buhantar, in the cave of the heart. So there is water in the ground, but to pull out that is so difficult. It's not easy. But sometimes there are some water reservoirs, but they are also very difficult to access. But this Archa Vigraha is like a river which is flowing next to you. Any time you can take the water. He compares other waters to other reservoirs of water, other forms. You remember how he compares different reservoirs he compares. But
he says like rain.
Incarnations are like rains, yeah. Clouds pouring the water. Yeah, very true. Para, he says, he's just there in Vaikuntha, I can't access only. But this particular form is like, yeah, just flowing next to you. You fill it up, how much ever water. Archa Vigraha. So beautiful. A less advanced person also he can utilize so that way. Bahumshcha mandara gire parivartanena nirnikta bahuvalayanathilokapala sanchityayeta dasha shataram asayya teja shankham cha tatkara saroruharajam sa.
The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's four arms, which are the source of all the powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments, which were burnished by Mount Mandar. It is as it is revolved. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's discus, the Sudarshana Chakra, which contains 1,000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch, which looks like a sun in his lotus-like palm.
Yeah, so now he is meditating on the arm of the Lord. Arms, bahun, like that. So these arms, very powerful arms are there. And when, as Ajita, when Lord started doing the churning of the milk ocean, so such was the powerful churning that when they were churning, sometimes Lord Ajita, he was the first person holding that Vasuki, right? So he would go so close to Mandar mountain in churning that the bracelets of the Lord would, rub against the Mandar, some like that, because that churning is not like how you show in movies. Vasuki is so huge that when they're churning like this, they would go huge distance away from Vasuki. Next time they will come and touch the Mandar mountain. It was like that. So it is mentioned that Ajita's bracelets, because of rubbing against Mandar mountain, so they started sparkling like anything. So that is what is mentioned here. Mandara gire parivartanena nirnikta bahu valaya. Valaya means those bracelets. So devotee meditates on those arm ornaments, bracelets, which have become polished by Mandar mountains. Mandar mountains rubbing this way. Also he meditates on Dasha Shataram, which is the Sudarshan Chakra. It has 1,000 spokes. Spokes only, right? What is it called? Spokes. Yeah. So it's the greatest astra, right? Sudarshan. There is no greater astra than that. Sudarshan is most powerful to protect the devotees. And then also all these other Shankha and Chakra, Gada, Padma, that's the next verse. Shankham. Shankha also, it looks like Lord Shankha is very fat bellied Shankh. And when Lord holds in his lotus eyes, it looks like a white swan, which is there in, network of lotuses, because Lord's palms are like lotus. And then he holds the Rajhamsa, so royal white swan in the red lotuses, so it also become little reddish. And it is making a beautiful sound, like that when Lord is blowing. So that Rajhams is making a beautiful sound, like that. The acharyas, like that. Sudha Goswami himself glorifies like this in first canto. He glorifies like that. Rajhans is making beautiful sound, beautiful sound. So what a sight it must be to see Krishna. Everything like, just see this beauty, just see. So like that, the devotee poet just compares everything. He's glancing something, then immediately, what a beauty! Because that's how it is, na? Is abode of all beauty. Everything is beautiful. Just maduram, vradaram, maduram, vadan. Maduram, whatever he does this way. So the yogi in this way is meditating on that. So Prabhupada becomes here. Prabhupada speaks also about this ornaments being polished by turning of the Mandar hill. Then We come to Kaumodaki and also the Padma and all other. Kaumodakim Bhagavato Daitam Smareta Digdham Arati Bhata Shonita Kardamena Malam Madhu Giro
To him. This club smashes the and is made with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees, which their nice buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace on Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in service.
Yes. So also a devotee meditates on Kaumodaki, which is Lord's club, Gada. And it is said to be always it is tinged with the blood of the enemies. Blood stains of the enemies. Shonita Kardamena. Because it is killing the demons who are Arati, which means who are the enemies of the devotees. Like that. So, but still, she is said to be Daita. She is said to be very, very dear to the Lord. And she's also doing Daya on the those who are getting killed. Mala Madhu Brata Varutha Girop Kushtha. This Mala also, the garland that is there in Lord's on Lord's chest, which is surrounded by the various bumblebees. And also pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in service. So he has this pearl necklace, which shows basically this is how the pure devotees, he accepts the devotees as garland on his neck. So although he is most beautiful person, so he considers that pure devotees are my greatest ornament. Like that day we were saying now, Sadhavaha Sadhu Bhushana. So one of the meanings of Sadhu Bhushana we saw as that the devotee considers sadhus only as his ornaments. He doesn't consider that I have this ornament, that ornament, golden, platinum. No, he considers these are my ornaments, these are my devotees, and these are ornaments. So Sadhu Bhushana. So that mood is directly there in Krishna only, right? Or Vishnu only. He is considering that the pearl necklace on him, on his chest, it represents the pure devotees whom he loves so much. Chaityasya tattvam amalam. तो चैत्य यानी जीवा, यहाँ पर चैत्य का मीनिंग होता है जीव or the living entity. So this pearl necklace shows represents the living entity this way. Okay, all right. Bhrityanukampita dhiyeha grihita murte sanchintyaget bhagavato vadanadavindam yat vispuran makara kundala valgitena vidyodita malakapola mudaranasam.
The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord, who presents with different forms of this world out of compassion for devotees. His nose is prominent, and his crystal clear cheeks are illuminated by the oscillation of his glittering alligator-shaped earrings.
Yeah, so he has this Makara Kundal. And those Makara Kundal, they are always, Vishwan Chakravarti says, they are dancing and kissing the chicks of the Lord. But why are they dancing? Because he says the devotees around the Lord are always, speaking some things which he, approves. And he says, oh, yes. He's like, yes, yeah. That is right. So because he's approving the talks of his devotees, so always he's like, Satyam, Satyam, Satyam. So that's why he's moving his head like that. Because what do you think? The devotees around Vishnu, are they keeping quiet or what? No, they're entertaining the Lord. Continuously they're speaking something which Lord approves. Sometimes they speak such a thing that Lord starts smiling. He starts laughing. These devotees who are even, I mean, as Kshirodakshayi Vishnu or Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, Shanti Shanti to nahi hai na udhar. Right? They are all devotees. So these beautiful leelas are happening there also. Although technically speaking, Paramatma, he only does Srishti Leela. That's technically the aspect. But still, these features of the Lord, they do have these pastimes. At least in Vaikuntha, they are surely doing. Even if, Kshirodakshayi or Mahavishnu or Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, there may not be many pastimes. But then still some are there, right? Bhrugu went to Kshirodakshayi only. So the pastime happened there this way. So anyway, Vadana Ravindam, a very, very beautiful face of the Lord. So this is like crescendo. This is like the summit of the beauty. And those Makara Kundalas, those shark-shaped earrings, dangling and touching Lord's cheeks, very, very beautiful. It's like two fishes that they are playing. So that glorification is being done in that way. Yatshriniketamalibi parisevymanam bhutya svaya kutilakuntala vrindajustam meenadvayashrayam adhikshipadanabjanetram dhyayena manomayamatandrita ullasadru.
The yogi then meditates upon the beautiful face of the Lord, which is adorned with curly hair and decorated by lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. A lotus surrounded by swarming bees and a pair of swimming fish would be put to shame by its elegance.
Yes, so this dancing, beautiful face of the Lord, where the curly hairs and lotus-like eyes, dancing eyebrows. This is actually the best part of Lord's beauty, his face. All these beautiful curly hair, Kutila Kuntala Vrinda Jushtam, and Lord's two lotus eyes are also said to be like the two fishes. Usually the eyes are compared to fishes also. And they are, because
Like
Matsya, like Matsya Lochana or Meena Lochana, because the large eyes is the sign of beauty. In material world, they sometimes think small eyes is a sign of beauty. Small eyes like Chinese choo-choo and all this. but actually large size eyes, that's the sign of beauty. Yeah, this idea is very prominent. They think that small eyes is the sign of beauty. So China and Korea and all these people are beautiful. Right? Beauty lies in the eyes of beholder, as they say. Everybody has their own ideas of beauty this way. But yes, the standard of the Shastras is that eyes which are extending up to ears. That's very, very beautiful. Like that. So the devotee is meditating on that. One important statement here is Dhyayan Manomayam. Manomayam is not imagination. This entire form is actually authentic form. Devotees never imagine a form of the Lord. There are two comparisons in this verse. First, the Lord's face is compared to a lotus, and his black hair is compared to humming bees. Even those Kuntala, Krishna's curly hair, they're also compared to swarming bees around Lord's lotus feet. And his two eyes are compared to two fishes swimming around. So this whole thing, it's a lotus flower in a beautiful lake surrounded by humming bees and fishes. Krishna's face is compared to lotus flower surrounded by these bees of curly locks of hair, and eyes are compared to be like fishes. So this is again the description of the beauty. Okay, so last two verses. Tasyavalokam kripayati ghora tapatrayopasamanaaya nasrishtamakshno snigdha smitana vipula prasadam dhyaye chiram vipula bhavanaya guhayam
The yogi should contemplate with full devotion the compassionate glances frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threefold agonies of his devotees. His glances, accompanied by loving smiles, are full of abundant grace.
So what to speak of his glances? Ghora tapatrayopashamanaya. Krishna's glance, smiling face is so beautiful that it will dry up the oceans of grief. This, even looking at the deities, we get so much satisfaction, right? So what to speak of somebody experiencing actually the smile of the Lord, transcendental form. So it will be, it burns all the misery of, oceans of misery, like that. Even Suniti said this to Dhruva Maharaj. She said, actually, what can a mother like me do? But Krishna, he is like that he can take care of you and he can give you, he can free you from all sufferings that even a million mothers cannot do. So you go and take his shelter this way. So this Snigdha Smita, this is an affectionate smile that is there on Lord's face. And it is full of prasad, it is full of grace. As soon as one gets to see that, the feeling is, otherwise sometimes smile can also generate some other emotions also, right? कोई हंस रहा है मतलब फंसा दिया करके अभी देखते क्या. So you know that smile is actually, but Lord's smile is vipula prasadam. One becomes, feels blessed by that smile. Smile, that's how it is. Smile is. It's very graceful and it is full of grace for us. This way. Hasam hare ravanata khila loka tibra shoka shrusagar vishoshana mantatyudaram sammohanaya rachitam nijamaya yasya Bhrumandalam Munikrite Makarattvajasya.
A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Sri Hari, a smile which, for all those who bow to him, drives away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sense God for the good of the faces.
Yes. So this idea of Hasam, Lord Smile, we talked about, it finishes off the oceans of grief. But Bhrumandalam, very special, Lord's arched eyebrows, they are Sammohanaya Rachitam. They have been, Rachitam, basically they are there only to bewilder Cupid, to bewilder the Cupid. It's like that. Cupid bewilders the whole world. He has this Makaradhvaja. He has this one bow of Ikshudhvaja. Basically, he has one bow which is made up of sugar cane. And then he has those 5 arrows also, which he hits. As soon as he hits those arrows, the person, starts getting influenced by the sex desire, influenced by the opposite sex. So he's a subtle personality, Cupid. Wherever there are together, तो उसका काम चालू हो जाता है, खट 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 मारने. Pushpaban. Those arrows look like flower arrows, but they are actually arrows. That is called Pushpaban. पीछे से push, आगे से push, पीछे से बाहन है वो. And like that he has Stambhan, all such arrows which first, one is stunned by the beauty of opposite sex. Anyway, the last arrow is Maran. In that, the 5th one, it is named as Maran. मतलब अभी वो मरने वाला है. In that attraction, the person will suffer as if one is dying. There is Tapan, Stambhan, like that 5 arrows are there. The last one is known as Maran, literally. So Cupid he's making the fool of whole world. Sammohanaya. So these Krishna's eyebrows are for doing sammohan, are for causing bewilderment of Cupid. of that Kamadev. You can see. So they are so wonderfully, they are like that basically. So Krishna has such beauty that even the Kamadeva and all of them, we see that pastime also, where this Kamadeva came in Dwaraka, where Krishna and his queens were there. He thought that I will do my task here, and he wanted to shoot arrow on Krishna. But he wanted to shoot arrow on Krishna, and seeing beauty of Krishna, he only fainted. Dharam gir gaye udhar. All his bow and arrow slipped everywhere, and he was like fainting in ecstasy. So that's the effect on him of Krishna's beauty, is so amazing. So especially for sadhakas, for devotees who have problem of lust, it is mentioned that one should meditate for a long time on Lord's arched eyebrows, quoting this, or rather reciting this verse. Samohanaya rachitam nijamayayas bhumandalam munikrite makaradhvajasya. So we see that this is the power of Mada Shikhandi Shikhanda Vibhushanam Madana Manthara Mugdha Padamlojanam. He has such lotus feet and such beauty that even the Madana, he gets bewildered. Bilvamangal Thakur says this in Krishna Karnamrita. It is stated in this verse that charming eyebrows of the Lord are so fascinating that they cause one to forget the charms of sense attraction. The sex god is called Makara Dhwaja. He has the flag which has on it Makara. That's why he is known as Makara Dhwaja. But we see that even Krishna's lotus feet are so beautiful that even Makara Dhwaja gets bewildered. So this is the final verse in this series. Dhyana yanam prahasitam bahuladharoshta bhasa runa tatatan ita tanu dvijakunda pankti dhyayet swadeha puhare vasitasya vishnor bhaktyardrayarpitamana na prithak didrikshet.
With devotion, deep in love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Vishnu. The laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see his small teeth, which resemble jasmine buds. Rendered devoting to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else.
Yeah, so finally it's ending with prahasitam. See, when you smile, then your teeth are not visible. That is called smita. But hasita means teeth are visible. Prahasita, vihasita, ha 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 ha. Where then all the teeth, battisi, that is visible. So like that. So there are smita, prahasita, hasitam, prahasitam, vihasitam, like that. All these things are there. With Vedic life is not like, it's very subtle, with all these things, right? Otherwise, there are only two words in English: smile, and laugh. Okay, khatam. Aur kuch nahi. Lot many different ways of smiling, right? Krishna. So, for a devotee, when Krishna laughs, then his beautiful teeth are visible. And those teeth, they are like jasmine buds. You have seen jasmine buds?
Yes.
They look very beautiful. But then Lord's lotus lips are like bimba fruits. So then those teeth also become reddish or pinkish. So then once the yogi devotes his mind to this, he no longer desires to see anything else. And after all this, he gives it up. It's extremely amazing to see, So now that's the next verse. So you are going to see now suddenly anticlimax. So after seeing this big climax, suddenly you will see anticlimax. जैसे कोई मूवी में हीरो ही मर गया एंड में, अरे ये क्या हो गया, एंटीक्लाइमैक्स. So like that. एवं हरौ भगवती प्रतिलब्ध भावो Bhaktya dravat hridaya utpulaka pramodat Outkanthya bashpakalaya muhuradyamana Tachapi chitta badisham shanakaya viyunte.
By following this course, the yogi gradually develops pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. In the course of his progress in devotional service, the hairs on his body stand erect through excessive joy, and he is constantly bathed in a stream of tears occasioned by intense love. Gradually, even the mind, which he used as a means to attract the Lord, as one attracts a fish to a hook, withdraws from material activity.
Yeah, so Prabhupada translates it differently actually, yeah. So I was trying to understand that where from which commentary this is coming. So I didn't see that. So because yeah, the verse is saying something different actually. So personally, I couldn't find that. Okay, when he writes withdraws from material activity, exactly how that meaning is coming now. So yeah, if I find out if some particular commentator is giving meaning like that, then I can tell. Okay, so because this is quite clear that this is that yogi which separates himself from the Lord's form. So that context Jiva, Krishna Chakravarti, they're on this point only. So even if you sort of want to give a devotional explanation of this verse, but then yeah, it's interesting that Prabhupada has translated like that. Nobody, Srila Swami, or no one has. Evam haro bhagavati pratilabdha bhavo. So in this way, for this Supreme Lord, this particular yogi, he in fact starts experiencing bhava, because with samadhi, he comes to such a level where he starts experiencing some, you can't, like, will not say that it's like complete bhava symptoms are manifesting, but that this is like initial stage of bhava which he starts experiencing. So just I'm opening the commentary here. Very long commentary Vishwanath Chakravarti has written. Yes, you can see. Pratilabdha bhava. So he says, pratirupataya natu anurupataya labdho bhav. So he has received some bhava's initial symptoms in him, but they are pratirupataya. They're not so much anurupa, because the person is going to give it up like that. So, but still, you can see he has gone to one very great level of bhakti, because his heart starts melting away. Dravadhridayopi, here. Utpulakopi. He starts even getting goosebumps on the body. He starts feeling utkantha. These are all what sort of symptoms? These are sattvic vikaras, sattvic vikaras, like that. So he starts experiencing of them that way. Utkantha, tears come in his eyes, and also this bhava, some sort of bhava starts manifesting over there. Although Vishwan Chakravarti says it is not anurup, so much anurup. So after doing all these things, Antya Dravadhridaya, because of bhakti, his heart starts melting away towards the Lord. He starts experiencing some bhava. He starts experiencing sattvic vikaras because of the happiness of bhakti. Like utkantha, his heart becomes excessively joyful. He starts feeling great, intense eagerness for the Lord. Bashpakalaya, he starts getting tears in his eyes, and like that. But what does he do? Chitta badisham shanakayar viyunte. But what happens is, surprisingly, this yogi, he takes the badisha of his chitta and he separates it from Paramatma. Shanakai Viyungte. Gradually he withdraws. तच्चापि तच्चापि मतलब उससे भी वो निकाल लेता है. All this Paramatma's form and everything that was giving him such great joy. But what he does, chitta badisham. Badish means hook. Huh? So it is like his hook is there. On that hook, he had put some bait. What was the bait? Bait was this Paramatma. Paramatma was the bait which he had put on the chitta. So that the chitta becomes very stable. Chitta becomes very, it comes in proper mode of goodness. It becomes pure. It gets rid of all contamination. And then he, once that purpose is accomplished, he knows that he has achieved that. So he removes it slowly. Now he doesn't want to continue the meditation on that because he has achieved that purpose. So that is Shanakayar Vimukte. So Vishwan Chakravarti says, Jnanam cha mayi sanyaset. Krishna says in 11th canto that at last you have to even renounce the jnana. But it is never told to renounce bhakti. Bhakti should never be renounced. But this person, he renounces the bhakti like that. So that's why, where from this idea is coming that he should give up the bhakti? He says, Mandadhi. This is a foolish person. This yogi is a fool. Swechhaya eva viyojayati. ये तो उसने अपने मन से
शांता था ब्रो. उधर से स्टिक हो
this
गया
is
ना.
his own.
Internet is fine.
Just like you have the hook, no? So which is made up of some iron or something. So it is very hard, no? So that's why such hard hook. It
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी का इंटरनेट ये है ब्रो, मतलब रिकॉर्डिंग में.
much realization has happened over here. It is like stone, or it is says. But just like if something is made up of iron or stone, how much ever Ganges water you pour on it, will it become soft? Will it become in any way delicate? No. So similarly, he says that badish जो है इसका हृदय, hook जो है, it has remained hard in spite of so much of Ganga waters of this Paramatma's realization. He says the badish is also very crooked, टेढ़ा है वो, तो वो सीधा नहीं होगा कभी. So similarly, the chitta of this yogi, he says, is like, it is like crooked. It's crooked in the sense, you understand, he's not very offensive, but because he's not interested in Krishna Bhakti, so that's why he's speaking in that particular manner. Kathor, Kutila, that sort of mind or that sort of heart is there in this way. So that's why such a yogi, we see that although he has got a very great realization of Paramatma, but still he decides to get away from that, and he desires the moksha, he desires the Brahmanubhava. So then such person, we see that Krishna also gives him that kind of realization only. See, he says that dukkha nivrutti purvak pratyakatma anubhava rupam dadati, न तो परमात्मा अनुभव रूपम मोक्षम. भगवान ऐसा मोक्ष नहीं देते कि जिसमें परमात्मा का उसको अनुभव होगा. Lord only gives him the moksha, which is destruction of all the misery. Meaning it is Brahma Anubhav, not the Paramatma Anubhav moksha. Eternally he will be into that kind of situation only, this way. So like that he is writing on this aspect. He says Shukadev Goswami or others, Kumaras, they are not like these examples. They are the Rasagrahas. They were the great impersonal personalists, and when they got bhakti, they gave up that. This yogi is getting bhakti and he is giving up this bhakti to continue the follow path of moksha. So he says that's why he's opposite. He's unfortunate yogi. He is not very intelligent yogi this way. But still, because his goal was Brahmanubhav, so he continues. Krishna also, Lord also offers him this particular benediction. When the mind forcibly is engaged upon the form of the Lord, this is called Nirbija Yoga or lifeless yoga. Prabhupada to lifeless bol. For the yogi does not automatically engage in the personal service of the Lord. But when he's constantly thinking of the Lord, that is called Sabija Yoga. So this goal has been achieved over here. So Prabhupada doesn't comment so much on that aspect over here. But Vishwanath Chakravarti is writing like that. But then, yes, in any case, this yogi, we see that he attains his desired goal by Lord's mercy. Muktashrayam yarhi nirvishayam viraktam nirvanam ricchati mana sahasa yatharchi atmanamatra purusho vyavadhanamekam anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha.
When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from material objectives, it is just like the flame of a lamp. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed in that of the Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with Him. It is free from.
Then there is nirvishaya, viraktam. In fact, his subtle body here, it is said to be that his subtle body sort of starts getting destroyed and he starts becoming Jivan Mukta after he gets realization at this particular level. So he starts getting rid of his subtle body and going towards the position of being Jivan Mukta. So Prati Nivrutta Guna Pravaha, all these three modes and the waves of the three modes, he starts becoming completely transcendental to that. So this is actually a situation of Jivan Mukta, if we see in that particular manner. The gross body will stay there with him, but the subtle body and its influence will be completely finished as a Jivan Mukta. We see that. That's how this person comes into the position. So even though he is living with gross body, but practically he is living like without any recognition of his gross body and all that. He is living like a liberated soul. Sope taya charamaya manaso nivrutya tasmin mahimnyavasita sukha dukkha bahye hetudvamapyasati kartari dukkha yoryad swatman vidhatta upalabdha paratmakashtha.
Thus, situated in the highest transcendental state, the mind ceases all from all material reaction and becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all material conceptions of happiness and distress. At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as their interactions, which he attributed to his own self are actually due to the false ego, which is a product of ignorance.
Yeah, so these are all the signs of that Jivan Mukta stage, where he has become now freed from all the subtle body's influence. Sopye taya charamaya manaso. Okay, we read this already. Next verse. Deham chatam chana charamasthitamuthitam va siddho vipashyati yadodhyamaga matsvarupam daivadupetam ath daiva vashadapetam vaso yatha parikritam madira madandha.
Because he has achieved his real identity, the perfectly realized soul has no conception of how the material body is moving or active. Just as an intoxicated person cannot understand whether or not he has clothing on his body.
So practically he is like that. This whole conception of how, whether he has the material body or he doesn't have that idea. See, in this particular case, basically he is living on the platform of Brahman or living on the platform of Atma. So it is mentioned Shukdev Goswami and all, they were living like this. He was on this platform where there is absolutely no conception of where they are and whether they have material body or like that. It's a like transcendental madman, intoxicated person, that sort of realization. Deho pidaiva vashaga khalu karma yavat svarambhakam pratik samikshata eva sasu tam saprapancham adhiruda samadhi yoga swapnam punarna bhajate pratibuddha vastu.
The body of such a liberated yogi, along with the senses, is taken charge of by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it functions until its destined activities are finished. The liberated devotee, being awake, is constitutional position and thus situated in samadhi. The highest perfectional stage of yoga does not accept the byproducts of the material body as his own. Thus, he considers his bodily activities to be like the activities of your body in a dream.
Yeah, it's practically like he sees this material existence as a dream. He's not involved in it in any way. He's living at the level of considering himself as Brahman or Atma in that way. Although he's staying in this world, it is the stage of Jivan Mukta that is being spoken over here. So how does he see all other factors in the material world? That's the last part. So these 4-5 verses are there. Yatha putracha vittacha katham martya pratiyate apyatmavane bhimata dehade purushastata.
Because of great affection for family and wealth, one accepts a son and some money as his worth. Due to affection for the material body, one thinks that it is his. But actually, as one can understand that his family and wealth are different from him, the liberated soul can understand that he and his body are not the same.
Yeah, he's clearly in that realization of he being different from the body. Yatholmukat vispullingat dhumadapi swasambhavat apyatmatvena bhimatat yathagni prathuk kulmakhat.
The blazing fire is different from the flames, from the sparks and from the smoke, although all are intimately connected because they are born from the same blazing wood.
Yeah. So Prabhupada says, blazing firewood, spark, smoke and flame cannot stay apart because each of them is part and parcel of fire. Still they are different from one another. So he sees that his gross body, his subtle body or his spirit soul, although they are energies of the Lord, but he sees that spirit soul is different than the body and he considers himself as the spirit soul. So the fire here can be compared to the spirit soul aspect. And the sparks, the smoke, flame, they can be compared to other aspects of material nature, like subtle body, gross body, and all that. Bhutendriyat antakarnat pradhanat jiva sannitat atma tatha prathak drishta bhagwan brahma sannitah.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Param Brahma, is the seer. He is different from the Jiva soul, or individual living entity, who is combined with the senses, the 5 elements, and consciousness.
So he has this understanding for Paramatma and also for himself being the soul which is separate from all this. Sarvabhuteshu chatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshetananya bhavena bhuteshviva tadatmatam.
A yogi should see the same soul in all manifestation, for all that exists in a manifestation of different energies of the Supreme. In this way, the devotee should see all living entities without distinction. That is realization of the Supreme Soul.
Yeah, so he sees everywhere that same manifestation of, you can say, Supreme Soul, Brahman or Paramatma, everywhere manifesting in all the different living entities. Svayoneshu yatha jyotir ekam nana pratiyate yoninam guna vaishamya tathatma prakrutau sthita.
As fire is exhibited, the spirit soul manifests itself in different bodies.
Yeah, so his understanding of different individual spirit souls is very clear here. He is not like Mayavad is thinking everything is one. It's just that he sees that the spirit soul is that like fire. But depending on the various bodies, the fire may be manifested differently, like wet wood, dry wood. Depends on that. Although it's the same fire in all different kinds of wood, all different sorts of wood. So similarly, that same spirit soul is there, but depending on the varieties of bodies, we see there is different manifestation. Tasmadimam swam prakritim daivim sadasad atmikam durvibhavyam parabhavyam swarupena vatishtate.
Thus, the yogi can be in the self-realized position after conquering the insurmountable spell of Maya, who presents herself as both the cause and effect of this material manifestation, and is therefore very difficult to understand.
Yeah. So this is how he transcends. Okay, so that completes the chapter. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta Purports of 3rd Canto 28th chapter, entitled Lord Kapila's Instructions on the Execution of Devotional Service. So I took this last section because it's just the realization of that yogi. There is not much discussion on that, but in case you need to read from commentaries, you can do so on particular verse. It's just that I will do some more research on this verse because I was trying to see Prabhupada's translation. Where does it come from? But I probably could not get enough time also to look at the verses. Because I had read this section long before, and I didn't remember that Prabhupada translates like this, that withdraws from material activity instead of withdraws from Paramatma himself, this way. So then I was just trying to see Srila Swami, does he say like that? So if Prabhupada is writing, maybe somebody has explained like that. So we have to see all the commentaries. So just in case I get something more on this verse, I will see. Otherwise, Vishwan Chakravarti, Jiva Goswami, Sridhar Swami, everybody explained the verse in this manner only, like that. So, fine. All right. So I need to rush now because half an hour is there for me to pack and everything. But yes, I thank you all very much for your patient listening. We had long sessions, and all of you are very patiently, sometimes tired, sometimes not tired like that, but you still heard attentively, enthusiastically participated. Sometimes in some session, I also used to feel a little tired and then sort of finish this quickly that way. Like right now also, towards the end, I thought, let me finish this somehow. Otherwise, you get in every verse, then it takes on more time and time. But the essential part of the chapter you have understood only. If any questions are there, you can ask later also. Because one last chapter we will speak there, the last 33rd chapter also. We'll do that quickly. So there also you can ask anything pertaining to this. But yeah, I was just very appreciative of all of you. Because for me, there is no other service throughout the day apart from teaching and preparing, but you all are doing other services also so much. So you can't afford to sleep in the day or anything. You may not be getting so much time for you are doing with services. So I appreciate that fact. So it was very nice for me also discuss this section, whole section. after a long time, I retook this session. So now after this, in Pune, I am taking the same section in September. So it's all very fresh in the mind. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Hopefully, I will come for some fourth canto sections also again. We will talk. Yeah, he's already asking for November. Let's see. November, I can come. You see, but for all of you also, it should match. November is good time. So we can do then some substantial section. Kuwait, I'm going in September. I am planning to go to Europe in November, but yeah, it's not yet fixed. And many are saying it is winter, so it's not a good time. They are saying winter. So let's see. I think November appears very probable. Then we can do some substantial coverage. All right. Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So Himanshu Prabhu, you can plan about that 33rd chapter and let me know.
No. Chapter 29, explanation of
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, please share. Vilas Vardhan Prabhu. क्या
Should
भूल
I
गए आप?
share?
मैसेज
Yeah,
करना
you
भूल
can.
गए आज.
You started at 11 or before only you started?
शार्प 11. आप लेट हो गए.
1 मिनट लेट हुआ बस.
बट मैसेज तो पहले करना ना, कम से कम 10:30 पौने 11 बजे.
अरे कल ही वैसे डाला था, अभी इतना भी भूलेंगे तो कैसे होगा.
कंडीशन
तो है
सो
ही.
भूल जाते हैं. मैं भी भूल गया था.
Yes, I was beginning. आप बता सकते हैं bro, मैं थोड़ा इसमें better because little sequentially.
नहीं, वही 2019 से स्टार्ट किया ना प्रभु जी ने.
हाँ,
18 वाला तो हो गया था.
correct.
सो प्रभु जी बिगेन डायरेक्टली क्लास. डिड नॉट मींस हाँ, तो बोल रहे थे कैसे योगी जो है अभी भगवान को विजुअलाइज कर रहा है. एंड उसमें एक्चुअली प्रभु जी ने ज़्यादा बताया नहीं ऐसा कुछ कि स्थितम व्रजंतम आसीनम. ही इज विजुअलाइजिंग लॉर्ड स्टैंडिंग आल्सो, मूविंग, लाइंग डाउन. एंड उसमें फिर डिटेल में गए कि अ, नहीं, ऐसा आई थिंक नेक्स्ट वाले श्लोक में बोले कि डिवोटी आल्सो विजुअलाइजेस द लॉर्ड्स लीलाज. ऐसा बोल रहे थे ना
हम्म.
कि मीन्स भक्ता कैन विजुअलाइज दैट, कि लॉर्ड्स पास्ट टाइम्स.
19 श्लोक के बारे में ही बोल रहे थे.
19 के बारे में बोल रहे थे आई थिंक. तो
जैसे
या
योगी मेडिटेट करता है परमात्मा के ऊपर, उसी तरह से भगवान कृष्ण के प्रति भी भक्त करते हैं.
यस. एंड सी ही गोज ऑन टू नेक्स्ट श्लोक आर टेलिंग कि शुड फिक्स माइंड ऑन ईच इंडिविजुअल लिम. तो यहाँ से धारणा से ध्यान में अभी ये हो गया आई थिंक. मतलब फुल फॉर्म से एक पर्टिकुलर लिम पे अभी फोकस स्टार्ट हो गया योगी का. सो ही हैज क्रॉस्ड द विच स्टेज नो, धारणा और ध्यान. पहले क्या आता है?
पर्टिकुलर लिम्ब के ऊपर ध्यान है.
ध्यान है
धारणा
ना.
कंप्लीट.
धारणा मीन्स कंप्लीट फॉर्म, ध्यान मीन्स पर्टिकुलर लिम.
लिम के ऊपर. यस.
यहाँ से ध्यान स्टार्ट हो गया है. और 33 तक फिर वो एक्सप्लेन करते रहते हैं क्या है लॉर्ड का फॉर्म, कैसा है, नेल्स कैसे है। और फिर प्रभुपाद भी कमेंट्स दे रहे, इमेजिनेशन इज नॉट इज ऑलवेज इमेजिनेशन एंड रिजल्ट्स ओनली इन फर्दर इमेजिन। सो मायावादी में से और दिस इज इन इमेजिनरी फॉर्म, बट दैट इज नॉट रिकमेंडेड हियर। वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है इम्पर्सनल एग्जिस्टेंस पे माइंड फोकस करना, तो वो ऐसा नहीं है यहाँ पे जो है। देन आई थिंक यू कैन शेयर अदर ड्यूटीज beginning with
Then he was telling about. Yes, bro, please.
Prabhuji is telling about the meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. He was saying that actually, although they are saying meditating on lotus feet, Vishnu generally stands, so his lotus feet symbols are not visible. But Krishna actually stand in three bending form, so it's visible. It's very easy to meditate. So, in bhakti point of view, Krishna's bhakti point of view is was explaining. I think that was, I think, what Rasik comment, Rasik point of view, na? That's what not literal, na? What he was explaining. It's visible. Krishna's lotus feet signs are visible, so we could meditate very easily. Vishnu stands straight, so it's easy to meditate on Krishna's lotus feet. he was saying. And he was explaining the various signs, like he explained the lotus. If we meditate on the lotus, lotus feet, he said that, yes, of course, it translation only it is said that all the sins of the sadhakas got destroyed. So we should start meditating on lotus feet, and then lotus inside that symbol. And then Acharya says that while meditating on lotus, we should think that my mind should be like that lotus, calm, without all agitation. It's like in the lake side. An umbrella, he explained. Word umbrella, whatever I remember, I just want to. So he says that when we meditate on the umbrella, we remember how he is protecting us from the trifold miseries. And not only that, he referred to Bhagavatam, 11th canto, where those lotus feet are not exactly like umbrella which protects us from trifold miseries. But it amrutat varsha. It also showers the nectar. The umbrella also gives sweet rice or something. So, like that. Okay. So, further you can, whatever, that's much you can remember now.
I think before this, in the last, he was telling, beginning that just like a yogi meditates on the Lord sleeping, the Lord walking. So similarly, a devotee in the spontaneous devotion service, Araganava Bhakti, also meditates that how Krishna is walking in Vrindavan, how Krishna is sleeping in the cave, how Krishna is all connected to Shyam Sundar's pastimes in Vrindavan, because Smaranam is the parallel to the, Dhyanam in yoga ladder. So in the same way, the devotee does Smaranam of the pastimes of Krishna, which are mentioned in the Shastras. And then in this the 22nd verse, I think he was telling that I remember this from Bhaktivedanta Thakur's song, where he says, Jai Charan Lagiya Shiva Shivatva Paila, means by worshipping those feet, even Shiva got his Shivatva. So, Prabhuji, first time I got reference from Bhagavatam directly. So here it is mentioned that yes, Shaucha Nishatra Sarita Pravadakena Tirthena Murdani Atikaritena Shiva Shiva Bhut. So Lord Shiva gets his Shivatva because the lotus Chanamrit of the Lord is falling on his head. And that's why he has the potency to purify the all worlds. In this way, Prabhuji was telling about the lotus feet of the Lord. He meditates on the lotus feet in this way, thinking like this. The same feet is purifying the Shiva, who is purifying the whole world. And devotee, the yogi should meditate chiram for the long time, not just short time. Similarly, we should also take the darshan for the long time of the Lord. Yes, Prabhu. Other devotees can say also.
I am remembering that this question was asked how they are meditating on Supreme Personality of Godhead forms so much yogis. Still, they could attract for this impersonal aspect. So, what is that? So, that is the surprise. So, he's also saying that that is the real surprise. It's like a whole picture is going on, and in the end, hero only dies. So, uh, so then he gives example. I think he's quoting Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami he was quoting, and Jiva Goswami says, "Atadhiya." वही बुद्धि मारी गई है उनकी इसलिए वो बुद्धि atadhiya is intelligence so stolen. So they could they intelligence. So they aspire for that. So Paramatma also reciprocate like that. Then they get attracted for that in person. That's why I remember. So, if no one is speaking, I have a question that means any section in the Bhagavatam, if it turns out to be Bhakti, uh, Bhakti Mishra Gyan Mishra Bhakti, it's all it should be decided by the acharyas, or we can also while reading the section we can decide. So already it will be decided. It's like here it appears all like Bhakti only. But when we hear the Acharya's commentaries, then we come to know that the section is referring to that. So, how much means Bhakti is when Bhakti Mishra Gyan aspiration, based on aspiration, we should decide, or it's that decision is already made. That's my point. Sometimes means we have not read the commentaries, na? Other commentaries. Sometimes Prabhupada translate Bhakti point of view only. Many things, many times. So to come to the conclusion is not good at our level. We have to refer to Acharya because that theoretical understanding is there that those who aspire for that, then their destination is that Raja Mukti, and means, those who Bhakti as the main limb and just may use yoga as a little, and then they may go to Vaikuntha like that. That is understanding is there, but which section belong to which, so that we have to go through Acharya only. That's the point. Yes, Vilas Vardhan through. You have
Yes, Prabhuji. Means even in Bhagavad Gita also, like many shlokas, almost all the shlokas we see from Bhakti point of view, but they are not like that, as given by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So Acharyas only we have to understand, and I see that once we understand Acharya's mood, then we can also understand sometimes without even referring it. We can understand by seeing the context and emphasis and what is being used as the characteristics in that sadhana. So we can, by understanding Acharya's mood in other places, we understand it other place also. So, but in general, yeah, we refer from the Acharyas to whom it refers exactly. What exactly their comment is. Is it pure or something garbage? Just like the case of Raghunath Bhatta also, no? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate, friend of Raghunath Bhatta, who Ramdas, who was coming with, who was serving Raghunath Bhatt Goswami very faithfully. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that his mood was not to serve, but to become one with Lord. It is very intricate. In the shloka, some line, some words will give that mood with what that yogi and he wants. So only pure devotees can catch it and explain it properly.
बिकॉज मतलब हम पहले जो मतलब हम मैंने जैसे प्रकार से पढ़ा पहले I read that it appeared to all me Shuddha Bhakti only were purport or Shuddha Bhakti purport as given. So now we come to understand that Acharyas, of course, Prabhuji already said because pure devotee is writing. Because pure devotee is writing, then that's why pure devotee is writing. That's why pure devotees and everything is coming like that. Prabhuji, that means you might have heard the answer of this that in Bhagavatam these type of sections are given, although
We are not able to hear you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, your voice is
am I clear?
little bit, not. Your video, maybe you can off, Prabhuji.
Clear my question? Is explaining about Brahma Jyoti. So why such sections are given? Means what such kind of yoga practices are mentioned in Bhagavad Amalpura? What was the reason behind it? You have understanding of it?
You are asking, Prabhuji, ki, like if Bhagavatam is Amal Puran, pure Puran, without any other, why
It
all
should
these kind of sections are given?
only pure devotional aspect should only come. So these are also coming. So what is the reason? I overheard last time that it only actually to nourish bhakti only, but how it means detail I could not recollect the answer. So if you can explain that.
Maybe Pandurang Shenpu would like to answer this. Pandurang Shenpu.
आप आचार्य को पढ़ते रहते हैं, मैं कुछ पढ़ता नहीं हूँ.
नहीं आप रियलाइज करते हो
रियलाइज कंफर्म करना पड़ेगा, सही रियलाइजेशन है कि गलत. What I understand that I don't know, I don't read much, but what I understand is first is general answer we have heard already. Many sages are sitting there who has come with different motives, and so in order to keep them hooked also, so this one aspect is presented. So that Badi Shamishna is there, and then but everywhere it's not forgot. Like here section also, it's Kapil Dev, personal Supreme Lord is explaining. So again he'll bring back to pure devotional service. So those who are interested in suppose yoga sitting amongst the crowd, they will get very interested in hearing this section. But then that will make them hear the further sections also. And always the comparison is made, and bhakti is put superior again, superior again, again superior. Like in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter also, last verse immediately comes all of a sudden, although it is a detail of yoga. So here it is more elaborate. Everywhere supremacy of bhakti is elaborately mentioned. And so not only for the crowd who is hearing the Bhagavatam live, but those who will be reading Bhagavatam afterwards also. So everybody should get their own field of interest in it. And but then we see that even gross examples like Pururava and Urvashi, that also is so gross, but then it ends in again bhakti only. So what to speak of impersonalism? At least it's in transcendental level. Though even gross levels also, things are given so that all different crowd is attracted with the motive of showing pure bhakti only. But maybe other scriptures, they are not so emphasizing on pure bhakti. They might emphasize like what particular that scripture is related to only. Like matlab all Puranas, different other sections, they might not again bring back to pure bhakti. So whether it's gross level or pure transcendental level, who are seekers of transcendence or seeker of material enjoyment or whatever it is, so many things are covered in Bhagavatam. So again, but never it is lost from bhakti and keeping bhakti as superior, so that because different angles we also might have in our mind. So different attachments, different inclinations we also might have, and we everybody feels their inclination is superior. So to in order to smash that very nicely, because that some encouragement is given, like here is encouragement is given for using Lord and then getting liberation. So this inclination is there in conditioned jiva's heart. It's contaminated only compared to pure devotional life. But if that is not addressed, that particular jiva might not read Bhagavatam or might not come to Bhagavatam, and he might never get exposed to pure bhakti or comparison to pure bhakti. So after explaining so many things, all the sages are explaining bhakti only as superior. So one will get a common sense. Ki, "Arey, I am attached to this, but this sage has explained this also. Like Kapil Muni has explained this also. But again, he's telling to do bhakti, encouraging to do bhakti. So he might feel knows that eureka might come in his mind. Ki, "Arey, let me also do bhakti only. Let me give up my attachment." So this is one thing I feel, this psychologically and visibly and realistically, our own anarthas inside our heart, people's and everywhere. But this stream is very uniform. Bhakti is superior, 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 and everybody is recommending to do bhakti only. And so Sridhar Swami also mentions that Badi Shamish Nyay, or I think Jiv Goswami mentions, I forgot, some Acharya mentions that to hook these people like fish, to catch the fish, we need to give the bait. So sometimes this thing is given to catch the impersonalist, yogis, or whatever it is. To catch them, this is given in particularly in Bhagavatam. So Vilaswardhan Pro can tell further.
You have given a exact essence.
Thank you, bro.
Just Ishopanishad also just says one more thing, that Vidyamsha, Vidyamsha. We should know both what is right and what is not. So here Kapil Muni is telling, at the end he's telling that he's using the Lord as a hook. So it is not being justified as the best path, as Prabhuji also told. So we are trying to know all the paths, but knowing the best path is just like Navanasya Dashamasya Vishuddhartam Navanamiya Lakshanam. So all the other 9 cantos are making the 10th Ashraya Tattva very, very clear and the best. So in the same way it is defining.
Volume
Yes,
wise also you
so
can
thank
see. Volume also, if you can see, 10th is the most voluminous and it's only pure Leelas of Lord. So if you take volume wise also, Bhakti is only superior. Everywhere volume, if you take Bhagavatam volume, like which is most discussed part, it's only Bhakti. Other things are like here and there only. If you really take out percentage, you will find out it's very meager. And whole 10 canto is pure Krishna Katha, and the volume is too much. The longest about pastime is only of Lord only. Then I think Prahlad Maharaj section is bigger, like that. So volume is again pure bhakti only.
yes, so thank you. Very clear understanding.
So other devotees can also quickly add. Papa going through permission. We'll complete this section quickly then.
Prabhuji was telling regarding that meditation part and what is the difference between bhakti. In bhakti yoga, it is shravanam is given more importance than smaranam because antakarana shuddhi is required. For doing kirtan itself, so much hearing should be done. After that, one can come to that platform of smaranam. That's why hearing is very easy compared to smaranam. I was telling. And regarding this, why it is mentioned that jnana part and all, Prabhuji was telling from the commentary itself, like that knowing, understanding bhakti and cultivating is good. More than that, understanding jnana part and yoga part and cultivating bhakti itself is more superior than only understanding bhakti and cultivating. Like that, he was giving. I was searching, but I didn't got in that commentary from 25th chapter. Prabhuji was told that time.
Prabhuji was telling that
Can you
Somatam.
repeat, Murli, can you repeat that what you said now?
एक्चुअली
Superior?
जो है ना, सिर्फ सिर्फ ये भक्ति को जान के भक्ति करना है ना, वो अच्छा है।
हाँ,
उससे भी श्रेष्ठ जो होता है, ये ज्ञान और योग के बारे में जान के उसके बाद करना है। ठीक है, इसके बारे में
स्वमतम
कौन।
जिज्ञासुम
हाँ।
परमत बुधई। मतलब जो खुद के मत को जानता है वो जिज्ञासु है, लेकिन
परमात्मा को भी जानते हैं।
वो
हाँ,
बुध मतलब इंटेलिजेंट
वही
बुधम।
बोला।
ज्ञान और योग के बारे में जानकर भक्ति करना, ज्ञान
या
और योग के मत को जानकर फिर बाद में भक्ति करना, वो सुपीरियर है।
हम्म।
ओके।
नहीं मतलब इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन जो है वो दूसरे मार्ग के बारे में भी जानकारी रखता है, और जो जिज्ञासु है वो खुद के मार्ग के बारे में पता है उसको सब कुछ, लेकिन दूसरे के बारे में पूछेंगे तो वो बोलेगा नहीं पता नहीं। लेकिन बुधा है जो कि खुद के बारे में भी जानता है, दूसरे के बारे में भी मतलब जानकारी रखता है ऐसा। तो जिज्ञासु और बुध में से अंतर है, ऐसा बोल रहे थे प्रभु फर्स्ट टाइम जब स्टार्ट किया था ये तब।
इसमें प्रभु जी वो जानकारी के फैक्टर, मतलब इसमें मतलब विद इन द शास्त्र ओनली ना, मीन्स समटाइम वी से ना मायावादी भाष्य सुन ले सर्व होइल सर्वनाश। तो
नो इन द
जानकारी
भागवत
करते करते
इन भागवतम ओनली
जानकर,
we
हाँ
should know,
भागवत
Prabhuji
में।
clearly mentioned, we should know where Jnana and Yoga is there inside Bhagavatam, not we explore the other Jnana scriptures.
ओके ओके ओके
In Bhagavatam, means some places are there where it is there.
ओके,
Mayavad is not there in
अंडरस्टूड।
Bhagavatam. Yeah. Impersonalism, मतलब Jnana and Yoga is there, but Mayavad is not there in Bhagavatam.
Sometimes we may associate to know some more thinking of, and then that's but that is not recommended for us, na? That is for
Actually,
advanced devotees.
actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I was hearing that uh, on Bhagavat Prabhu, somebody invited him for lunch and he came, but he had his brother Gopal. This Gopal was Mayavadi, so Gopal Bhagavat, I'm not remembering. He's telling that Ramanand Swarup Damodar, "Oh, meet my brother, he's Gopal." So Ramananda Swarup Damodar Prabhu is telling, no, 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 actually I cannot talk with him because he was a Mayavadi. And even Mahaprabhu also, he suggests Mahaprabhu, this is my brother. Mahaprabhu also does not talk. And later on, this Bhagavat Prabhu, he understand that nobody is liking my brother. So, so there in commentary, means Mahaprabhu tells, I think, मायावादी भाषा सुने ले वही सर्वनाश। मीन्स कितना भी कोई बहुत बड़ा भक्त क्यों ना हो, एडवांस्ड भी क्यों ना हो, but if he starts hearing Mayavad, he will lose all bhakti. There is a risk in that. Means, so we never read Mayavad. But Jnana Yoga is, means it's good to know. It is in Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
यस प्रभु, आप लोग शेयर कर सकते हैं परफेक्शन टू।
लास्ट में प्रभु जी ज्यादा कुछ बोले नहीं है एक्चुअली। जो लास्ट का जो 33 ऑनवर्ड्स बोले कि वो इज दिस जस्ट द रियलाइजेशन विच द योगी गेट्स, हाउ ही रिमूव्स हिज लॉर्ड माइंड फ्रॉम, भगवान से निकाल के फिर वो वापस उसमें लगाता है। हाँ, उसको अनुभव होता है कि मैं कैसे बॉडी से अलग हूँ, मैं शरीर नहीं हूँ, मैं आत्मा हूँ, और जीवन मुक्त की स्थिति पे आ जाता है वो। और फिर उसके पहले बता रहते हैं कैसे क्यूपिड, हाउ लॉर्ड कैन बिल्डर Cupid is also bewildered by the beauty of the Lord, and he has got 5 arrows. So, and one who meditates on the the smiling face of the Lord can drive away the grief of oceans of grief, and his eyebrows are means meditating on eyebrows we can overcome lust. And he was telling that how these earrings in the ears of the Lord, they are like kissing the cheeks of the Lord. Why? So because Lord is moving his head and is acknowledging the other devotees who are glorifying him. Satyam, Satyam. Is in Vaikuntha he says that, and that it's not that there is silence, just but devotees are glorifying him. So that is little bit there in Vaikuntha. But our goal is not that. Yes, Prabhu. I think we can stop here, Prabhu.
And very elaborately discussion was there on the 34th verse. The Jnani is taking out the hook of Paramatma, which he was using for his Brahman achievement. So there Prabhuji was telling, explaining information about Thakur one thing, that so this hook is generally made of, analogy को थोड़ा और elaborate कर रहे थे. Hook is made up of iron. So even if this iron, just like if you heat gold, silver, or butter, they can melt when you heat them. But iron, if you heat it, it will melt. But as soon as you leave it, it will again become hard. So similarly, this Jnani's mood is like that only. So although it is भाव रोमांच कंप हो रहा है, सब खड़े हो रहे हैं, आंखों से आंसू आ रहे हैं और फॉर्म को देख के गदगद हो रहा है, लेकिन वो बस कुछ देर के लिए है, उसके बाद वापस से वो हार्ड हो जाता है उसका हार्ट. एंड एक और एग्जांपल देते हैं कि उसके ऊपर वो हुक, क्योंकि आयरन का उस पर कितना भी गंगा का पानी गिरे वो हमेशा क्रुकट ही रहता है कभी, बिकॉज इट डजंट हैव एप्रिसिएशन फॉर द रसा ऑफ सर्विंग द लॉर्ड. सो और कहते हैं कि वो इट्स लाइक अ चीटर आल्सो, बिकॉज इट कवर्स द पॉइंट विथ इट, मतलब जो भगवान के प्रति जो आकर्षण होने वाला होता है स्वीट, उस ग्रीड से रोकता है. इसलिए वो एक चीटर की तरह भी है, ऐसा बता रहे थे मतलब. बहुत ही उसको अच्छे से पढ़ सकते हैं एक बार फिर से, बिकॉज इट ग्लोरिफाइज द प्योर डिवोशन सर्विस एंड द बैड मेंटालिटी ऑफ अ ज्ञानी, or in the sense of his focus on not serving but just moksha, not service to the Lord. Yes, परमिशन को कुछ बोले नहीं.
All many points you shared already. Okay. Actually, Kanai Krishna Prabhu was telling us something long back. Narari Thakur Prabhu का प्रश्न जो है मायावाद वगैरह. He was telling 6 संदर्भ पढ़े तो we might know more than even Mayavadi knows themselves what it is. So we can hear, if you want to hear, under Jiva Goswami. So we are hearing devotee only. So he has analyzed many points regarding all the philosophies. So that one part I wanted to add. And Prabhuji mentioned many points you shared already. So how foolishly Yogi, after seeing such a beautiful form also, he gives up that still because of his attachment to liberation only. So the attachment is very powerful, that even to this stage also one can lead to such a, like after seeing the such a beautiful darshan, we are just hearing and finding it so beautiful, but he has actually seen it. Still after that he gives up, means that's the power of free will and attachment to the desire. And Sri Prabhuji is telling when the Vigraha forms, regarding same line, Sripada Ramanacharya says, out of 5 forms, the archa is most merciful. It's like river flowing next to you. We can directly collect, and so even conditioned soul can see the archa. Other forms are not so easily accessible for conditioned soul, many of them. But archa is like whatever level you are with your anarthas or desires you have, you can still see the form of Lord in temple. So that is most merciful.
So, can you explain this five forms?
No,
Besides,
I also don't know much. Maybe Vilasvardhan Prabhu can mention.
okay.
I don't know much about it. So Vilasvardhan Prabhu can mention. And this, I'll just finish whatever I have noted down. And yeah, this many points are. Then Keshava's meaning, Ka is for Brahma, Keshava is for Shiva, and that Lord. Finally, meditation ends with the smile of the Lord, and different types of smiles he has mentioned. And so this is what, yeah, Vilasvardhan Prabhu can tell the 5 forms of.
So sorry, I also don't know exactly what Puji was speaking. Therefore, I have to check Puji. But this
Okay.
from Smithasya Hasyam event, that was Lord Smith means no teeth is visible. Hasya means entire teeth are also visible. And Hasyam, after seeing that, Hasyam, the Akhila Loka Tivra Shoka Shushagar Vishoshanamati Udaram. That shloka was telling, glorifying the smile or laughing of the Lord. Very, very, it removes all the suffering which is being made by crying tears of suffering. That ocean is just in a second removed just by seeing the laughing of the Lord. So he has seen that, Yogi has seen that. After that, this shloka comes. Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, one just thing, yes, you want to say some conversation? Okay. So we will have your exam in the 3rd week. So like 31st March and then 1st of April. So just before our next unit will start with His Grace Antardeep Prabhu. So before that we'll have our exam. So actually we need to have an exam for almost 3 units now. So what we will do is we will take 1 unit exam in the next week, and then another 2 exams we will take after the next unit, that is from 6th April to 10th April. After that, consecutively we will do the exams. So my request is that all of you can accordingly prepare from now only, so that we'll go unit wise. So till now I have completed till 15th one, 16th, 17th, then 18th, like that will do. Yes, Puri. Thank you very much for joining.
वो ये
Srila
मैसेज डाल दीजिएगा, थोड़ा मैसेज डाल दीजिए
हाँ, yes,
तो
no
थोड़ा
problem.
ध्यान दें. ओके, हरे
हाँ, बेगम तू कुछ बोल रहे हो?
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. थैंक यू. श्री भागवतम की जय. कपिल मुनि की जय.